This is our 21-foot sport fishing pontoon boat. This model accommodates 8 people. It's powered by a 60 horsepower outboard, but it's a little bit different than our cruising models. It does have a different seating configuration. It has 2 casting seats in the front, 2 casting seats in the back. Those are beneficial for when you're casting, you're oriented towards the front of the boat or the back of the boat where you're casting towards. It does have bench seating, but just a smaller section in the center of the boat. This model also has an electric trolling motor at the front. Instead of using your big motor, you have a smaller electric motor when you're fishing. And this boat has a live well at the back to keep the fish alive while you're fishing. All of our boats have entry gates on the port or the left side of the boat. The proper way to board the boat is from the dock through the entry gate on board. All of our pontoon boats do have swim ladders at the stern or the back of the boat. If you wish to swim, it is important that you drop your anchor so you're stationary, shut the motor off, and then drop the swim ladder. We provide all the safety equipment required for your day on the water. Legally, this is an anchor, a safety kit which contains rope, whistle, flashlight, bailer, fire extinguisher, paddles, and PFDs, which are your life jackets for the day. The anchor on the 21 Sport Fisher is underneath the hatch at the front. The anchor and the rope can be stowed easily in here, and they can be used when you've stopped the boat and you wish to be stationary. So beside the driver's seat or the helm, you can find the 2 paddles. These are used for rowing, should you have to. You can also find the orange safety kit. The contents of the safety kit are a rope, whistle, flashlight, and bailer. I'm going to lay them all out. The bailer is the orange bucket. The idea is if you're taking on water, you can bail water out. The whistle is to flag somebody down. You can get the attention of other boaters if you're in distress. The flashlight is if you have issues after dark, you can turn the flashlight on and signal somebody on shore or in another boat. The rope has a flotation on it. It is a floating device, so you can throw it to somebody if they're in water and in distress. All pontoon boats are legally required to have a fire extinguisher on board. On the 21 fishing pontoon, you can find the fire extinguisher underneath the helm. The hatch opens from the side, and the fire extinguisher is in here. We always provide you with the appropriate number of fitted life jackets for your day on the water. We will now cover operation of the boat as far as actually driving. To start the boat must be in neutral. The gear shift lever is on the right-hand side of the driver. Neutral is the center position of the gear shift lever. Make sure you're in neutral before you start the motor, and ensure that the motor height is low enough that the motor is actually in the water. Once you're sure that you're in neutral and the motor height is low enough, you can start the motor by turning the key. To adjust the trim or the motor height, it's simply the switch on the throttle. So there's an up and a down button on that switch. It's beneficial to adjust the motor height depending on the depth of the water that you're in. So when you're in cruising in deeper water, you put the motor all the way down. You can hear it bottom out when it's at the bottom. You also have a gauge on your dash that says trim height. The gauge will go down all the way to the bottom when your motor height is all the way down. For shallow water, or when you're approaching areas that you might not know, you would slow down your boat speed and increase your trim height to the 3/4 mark on the trim gauge. It's important that you don't go beyond that mark because your motor will be all the way out of the water and you'll no longer have control of the boat. The accessory switches on the boat are located to the front right-hand side of the driver. We have a horn, we have navigation lights, which are the bow lights and overhead light. These are to be used after dark. We have the accessory lights. These are your dash lights and your floor lighting in the boat so that you can see what you're doing after dark. We also have a radio switch which turns your radio on. We have a depth finder and GPS. Your depth finder is on the right-hand side. This crisp yellow line shows you the current depth as well as it shows you the depth in digital numbers. We are at 2.1 feet here at the dock. The left-hand side of your GPS is the map. The map shows you the depths that you will encounter moving forward. Basically a topographic map that shows you where you are on the lake by this black arrow icon here. So this is important to see what's in advance, and this is important to show you what's below you right now.